one app with infinite possibilities.
Hey, what's going on? I missed a fucking... Right there. We'll start over here. Well, you know, you can never, ever go wrong with the old school. Thanks. Yeah, I know I missed a little here. Let's see if I can fix it. Right there. That's where it sucks. So we're gonna have to probably cut it right there. Okay. Delete. And come on, you fucker. We'll see how this works here. Let's try it. Let's try it. We'll cut it right here then. Delete that little bitch. Move this fucker over. We gotta do the same. There's one thing I'm just gonna have to chop this fuck right there. We gotta delete these. Okay, that's all gone. Let's see what we got here. Can you? Good, thanks. So we'll double that up. That'll be our main baseline. We'll lose the hideout for a minute. Delete this shit. Delete this little fucker here. Let's try this. You can still hear it, but you get the gist of it, right? Oh, you fuck. just calls for fucking delete. Delete. You bastard. Fuck you too. We'll start with we'll go Bollywood style. That sounds cool. Okay, I like that. Hey, what do you think? No, I just want to kind of fuck around, you know? Okay, that sounded on time. Yeah, that's okay, Steve. That's alright, buddy. I can take it. Okay, I like that. Come, Mr. Man, we go drive a taxi. Then you gotta go to sit in the back seat. Okay, we stop that sucker. And we go and we carry it on. We'll do 16 bars on that bitch. Let's try her out. Let's see what we got here. So you know I want to drive the taxi. Don't you know I want to sit in the back seat? In the back seat. In my taxi. Eat the samosa. No meat in the back seat. Yeah, I got my light. Yeah, you know it. You don't want to know the story. Okay. Sounds rather... I can dig that. Now let's see. Let's see if I've got a loop or a sample that would fit it. I doubt it. Let's see what we got. Come on, how do I do this again? I sometimes forget how to work these things. You know? No, I don't. Discard. I want my own samples. You fucks, my own kits. You know, they bring me my kits. Oh, here we go. That's how I do it. There we go. My kits. There we go. So let's see. I always like to try this one. But, you know, each time I go to use this one, I make a loop. And then I lose it. So here's some of the loops I got. wait a minute, what going on? What the fuck? I just lost my track. I just lost my whole bass track, man. That's no good. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, I'll show off some of my samples. Here, I'll make one for you guys even too here. So we'll do this here. Okay, so you got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. You got. So with this we can pretty much run it anywhere, but you got to have it within the 4-bar beat, right? So, but just as an example. You got to pick up every stick. You got to pick up every stick. I just, when you got to get it right, you literally got to move it, get it perfect. Sometimes it takes me 15, 20 minutes just to get the sample the way I want it. So, but I'm just sort of giving you guys I'm not really giving a lesson because I don't even know if I'm doing it right, but I'm getting it, I'm figuring it out, and I probably could read a tutorial and fucking have it real quick, but us guys. No, I don't need to read the map, honey. I know where we're going. Shadow Files, what's up, buddy? How you doing? I've been watching some of your stuff, my friend. You're getting really good. I like it. I've become more subtle in trying to disseminate my information. You know what I mean? Like, at first I was angry and I would, like blatantly, fucking blah, 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 Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks. Yeah, I don't get a whole lot of views anymore, man. I guess I don't know. I got really shadow banned, I think, and then with the edits too. I think some people don't get it. I think some people, I came out in the prison thing, right? So I think a lot of people just wanted to hear drug stories and this and that, and honestly, 2 years ago, as soon as this hit, really, in my opinion, it's really the only thing that really matters at this point. And so many other channels, I reached out to all kinds of people, and they just wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah. What am I researching? Oh no, Steve's asking. Oh yeah. Shadow's got some skills. Shadow's got skills, that's for sure, man. I think he's probably a better researcher than I am. I think my niche, as far as this kind of information goes, is I'm definitely the 101 kind of guy. I mean, a lot of people that might be a little more articulate than me can go on, but then they're not fully into it, or they don't really fully get it. They still follow the left-right paradigm, and it's, it's all compromised. Yeah, I mean, the sports, the music, everything, the TV, there's a few. Oh, excuse me. There's a few actors or musicians that may have signed on to this and didn't really know what they were signing up for. You know, the more more popular you get, the more you have to be compromised, and that's so they can have something on you and literally make you um, do whatever they want. And I'm talking about guys that, like, they're still pushing Tupac, and they're still pushing, they're all, don't shoot the messenger, man, but Tupac he's an actor. He was that Thug Life is a character that he played. He's actually quite a feminine guy. Like, he really is. You know, the whole thing is a narrative. His mom, in the Black Panthers. I mean, and with the way these narratives work is there's a lot of truth to it. Like, his mom most likely was in the Black Panthers, and but they say she beat all these charges by herself, representing herself, which is just fucking ridiculous at the time. I mean, that's not going to happen unless you offer your kid up to and then you know what I mean. I mean, this is it really is a club that we're not in. George Carlin really did say it right when he went on about that. It's very true. And when you can understand symbols, that's the best way to really understand. I don't like saying that word, to realize, because when you understand, you're standing under, right? It's all legalese. That's how we get that's how it's done. It's everything's lost in translation. No, Shadow, I really think it's, what, with the history too. I really think there was this is like the tail end of a reset. The history is complete bullshit. North America was a thriving, um, play. We had cities here. We had buildings. So when my wife's ancestors were here, they were living in buildings. I would, I think this is just speculating here and just kind of spitballing, but I think because of the narratives and the stories of the deities and that all being so similar, the flood story and that, there was a worldwide something happened. It was war, because these deserts and some of these rock formation cave, they were buildings that had some kind of weapon or something. I mean, they had the what do you call it, the blimps, the airships. Lost at sea. Yeah, it's all about yeah, exactly, buddy. maritime admiralty law, and you know, and it goes with your birth certificate, how they, so we are literally how you say, a product. We're commodities, and it's through the banking and through the language is really how they kind of tricked us. I mean, and it still goes on. Like when you literally look at the terms and conditions of any app, you have to accept those terms and conditions before you can even read the terms and conditions. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? Really? How did, you know? It's a high magic because magic is technology that we don't understand, and the manipulation of perception and reality. So I can say, for instance, blue box. I just, for most likely, when I said that, you thought of a blue box. So I in turn affected your paradigm or your reality for a second there by suggesting that. And I think that the narratives are manipulated through, you know, large crowds cheering. Say if you're cheering for a rock concert or something, um, you're worshiping an archetype deity that you don't know. You don't know you're doing it. You think you're screaming for a band or a TV show or an actor, but they're kind of invoking this whatever it is, and that's how the narrative gets carried out. I think it's something to do with that way. It really is. It's because it's you, in order for natural law and for it to be fair, in a sense, you have to be told. Like, they have to reveal what they're doing, but they don't have to say, listen, I'm fucking you up with frequencies and this. They can have a cartoon character saying it in a certain way or in a song or something, where so it goes right over your head. Yet they don't have to tell you how they're telling you. You know what I mean? Options for Democrat. No other. Yeah, it's completely fixed, and I think, you know, Shadow. I think that's part of it is because they need that polar opposite energy, because it's really everywhere. You know, the good, bad, red, blue. You know, black, white. There's a lot of this friction type of thing going on. So I think it's something to do with that, man. I really do. You know, but what do I know, right? But it and whether we believe in it, that doesn't necessarily matter, because our energy is being transformed into whatever manifestation. Yeah, you got to keep fighting. I believe that with all my heart. You know, I'm on the list. If there's a list already, you know, I'm on it. I got, you know, it's, you know, I don't think I'm that important, or, you know, I'm not in the military. I never joined an intelligence agency or anything like that. But I do notice things. I notice things. I so I this one time when I was downtown, um, I was pretty good at selling dope, but I would often, it's work. You got to stand there and fucking work, and it's work, right? And sometimes I wanted to run off with, I'd see a certain girl that I was into, or Lorraine, and so I'd run off with a fucking half ounce of fucking buddy shit or whatever, right? So, and then they're gonna be there the next day, and so am I. So that a few times I just took my beatings, and I, most of the time I'd come back and I'd have some money, and they'd give me. This is when I would do it. I'd have some money to give them, then they'd give me more dope, and I'd fucking, an hour or two of good hard work, I'd be back to, my debt would be squared or whatever. So it was, I forgot where I was going with that, but it's, I would go boosting. Yeah, okay, now I remember. I would go boosting. So if I needed to get some extra money or whatever, I would go because it was easy back then. They didn't have the cameras like they did, and I could get like my record at a liquor store was I think 8 bottles, and they were 40 pounders and 60 pounders, which are big bottles. So I put a couple in. I always had a shirt tucked in, and I'd keep one here, and I could put a couple in the back, and I'd have a knapsack, and I put it, and then I would go out the indoor. So when I'd kind of wait till somebody came in and I'd go sneak out there, and a lot of times I'd leave a BMX just unlocked, and I just hop on the bike and boom, I'm gone. you know, and so that I would do that, and I could feel, sometimes if I was, being watched or whatever, and that they started bringing in the LPOs, loss prevention officers, and I read in the paper about this. They had a write up in the paper about it, and because back then too at the Old American and what's the other fucking pub? The American and at the what the fuck is it called? Damn, my memory is bad. Anyways, there'd be these old guys sitting in the back there, and they would, they just would wait, and it was like it was a market. It was this market, and then there was also the flea market. So this is the train station in Vancouver. There's the Sky Train, then the CN Rail Station. Just down a bit on First, there was this big red building, which was like a big flea market on the weekends, and so in the American Hotel and the Ivanhoe Hotel, there'd be 50 guys waiting to buy shit and putting in orders. So literally what like this one guy liked canned lobster, and I could go into Safeway and get, 80 fucking tins of this stuff. And he gave me $5 a tin, It's like another guy gave me for oil of Olay products. Another guy gave me and he gave me $5 a piece, and I could, I'd go into Shoppers or whatever, and I'd come out with, a knapsack full of these products. Literally, I would empty the shelf sometimes. I had a bike, a BMX, and when you sometimes, when you look pretty rough, and you have a rig full of blood. People, they're not going to chase you, you know. So but the one time a guy started putting on these Kevlar gloves, and and I'm like, oh, and I'm not in shape. I'm fucking, and I ran. I hid in the Canby hotel, the Canby bar. I hid in the girls' washroom for like an hour because he was running around looking for me. This guy. But yeah, so there's one time, I'll get to the chat in a sec. I always miss this one time, like I could feel, and I'm gonna be truthful. I was shooting coke, and you do get psychosis with cocaine. But there was a thing in the paper about how the loss prevention officers were meeting and sharing information. This is before computers, really. The like they were around, but not like they are now. So I would get on the C bus and I would come into North Van. A lot of times, because around Vancouver and around where the downtown east side is, like a good radius, it's hard. They started having more loss prevention officers, or you would get followed. But North Van, it was a little, I would hit the Salvation Army, and I literally would go into the changing room. I would take off whatever clothes I had on, put on new clothes, and then leave. And then if I was really, if I would go up to the rec center, and then I would shower and shave, and then I would make my way back. But sometimes I would get this after a while. Like what I'm getting at, these loss prevention officers would follow you, and they didn't necessarily just stay in the store. They would follow you all over the place. They would get on the bus. They would call ahead, and okay, so I get on a certain bus. They followed me. They kind of, you know what I mean. Okay, he got on this bus. I think he's gonna be in Lynn Valley. So they would drive. They'd have a guy there, and I went to the stores, and each store I went to, the manager was at the front waiting for me to like, as soon as I walked up to the store. There's the mall, and then there's a couple of these other liquor stores. So each one, like, there was. So I was obviously, they informed. I was I was around, and yeah, that yeah. It's almost, dude. When you look into the old history stuff too, like that, they had those Bleminy guys, the guys without the head. They had their eyes here, and then they had the mouth, and then one of the saints is a dog face guy. So there was these, and then there were giants, man. There's pictures of them now of people that were giants. So and they keep saying eugenics is pseudoscience. So when you hear the mainstream talking about pseudoscience in that kind of sense, where there really is something to it. These families have had the best food, have had the best school, have had the best technology as far as, um, cell regeneration or whatever. And on the other hand, we have had nothing but toxins, poison, lies. So there's an advantage there, and I would say that's eugenics. Whole like type A personalities of a certain nationality or race would be killed, and then and RAPE is is a tactic in war. You know? Yeah, that the movie They Live is a very, very yeah, that's a fucking, you know, there's a lot of truth in a lot of these movies, man, and I think, I don't know, I don't know what to think really sometimes, because it's this crypto fucking thing, man. The currency, the one world currency is let me see if I can, no, I won't be able to do it. But anyway, so on one of the WWE or WHO, on one of their websites about the digital currency, and they had a task force. It's on one of my videos. I have a thing about it, but it's yeah, livestock, exactly. It's one of the catalysts is accelerate domestic savings. That's what their plan is. You know, when they go to these little Davos, or they go to these Bilderbergs or the CFR or whatever it is, they they go through and they have these meetings, and then they bring it up to the next guy, to the next. I mean, John Coleman had it right with the committee at 300. He really did. Yeah, you know, that's another thing. I wonder how many people really are, bots. How many channels are actual bots? Because TV is dead. It really, in my opinion. I mean, I don't want. My wife, she's holding on to her show. She loves it. But that's fine. There is a lot of truth in TV, and this is an extremely inconvenient, scary thing that's going on, and to be invested in it and trying to worry about something you can't really change is, it's unhealthy. It really is. And part of the coven is, to have faith, right? I hear all these people talking about this simulation shit, simulation theory, and we're in the matrix, in the simulate. Okay, fair enough, that very well could be, but somebody had to fucking do the whole thing in the beginning anyways. You know what I mean? So we could be in a computer simulation, whatever. But the fucking big guy programmed that motherfucker, And the word Jesus has power over entities and whatever evil shit's about it. That word has power. And words are very powerful. Words are very powerful. Okay, where are we at here, bitch? Where are we at? Okay. See, I gotta get more speakers. I went in, I got the wife, I got her computer. I dropped $1,000 today. Probably should have. I bought. You didn't show her yet, because the tablet I used for the DJ thing, it fucked up. So I took it back, and I had a big one in the beginning. It was like a a regular size tablet, and it didn't work, so I took it back. So, and me being Mr. Impatient, I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I should have just waited for them to give me another big one, but I didn't. So I got them to give me one. It was smaller. It was like the ones that like one of these. Actually, they're all hooked up. So I was like, fuck it. I went to go take it back and I couldn't because I slept on it. It was too long, like, to take it back. I still have time to write the manufacturer, so I'm gonna do that. But I really wanted to play my remix. I'm still subscribed to that little beat. You know, you can get your little beat kits. I'm still subscribed. Yeah, they did, my friend. They did, and you know, the guy got like look at the generation now. Look at like my generation and maybe one younger. You know, the 10 years, give or take, is you know the only generation that really couldn't give it what would give a shit and realize how you know no what they're not going to be offering you an upgrade on your better sight or an upgrade on your bone marrow or whatever they're going to fucking sell it as, you know. And I don't know how these fucking, you know, I used to look up to the bikers, and you know the whole gang thing or whatever, right? And as far as I'm concerned, they're just a bunch of fucking guys that can't handle shit themselves. Fine, you can get a little organization that fucking works, but you know the way it's done, you know, I bet they're all fucking poked up. I bet there's, I don't know, but the way these corrupt criminals and politicians and all this work is they work with criminals. I mean, nobody, I don't give a fuck who you are, gets in a high level drug dealing position without doing some kind of fucking work with taking out your competition by using, you know, the police. Yeah, I didn't, you know, these guys, because you know something? When this crypto comes in and they get their central bank cryptocurrency going on, none of these guys are going to be able to hide anything. None of this money will be able to be hidden. They're going to be able to recover so much. You know, the drugs will all be done through the government. My city right now, I can walk around with fucking 2 grams of fucking fentanyl right now if I want. In my city. Nothing happened. Yeah. You know, and yeah, it's just, it sucks, you know. I'm gonna do a thing about, I don't know, Shadow. You got to check out Unplug 'em. The same with you, Candy, if you want, and Steve. But he does some amazing work. He's got a very heavy Christian perspective, which, in my opinion, it really doesn't hurt. But he breaks down the music industry amazing. He really does. Lately he was reading the book, and I recommend this book to everyone. If you really want to know how the music industry is and who these people are, get the book Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon by David McGowan. I will repeat that. Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon by David McGowan. This guy, he did the research into all these, the Mamas and the Papas, the Doors. I've gone over this on my channel. Jim Morrison's father was the admiral on the ship that caused the incident for the boots on the ground for Vietnam. So this was later proved to be a false flag. The admiral knows what's up. In that book, No One Here Gets Out Alive, Jim Morrison is pictured on that ship with his father, who in every interview he claimed his father was dead. His parents are dead. He's standing on that ship with his father, and his dad's probably telling him, look, son, you're going to be with all these dirty hippies, and he's like, these guys were fucking spies, the best, they're lifetime actors, is literally what they are, lifetime actors. They were bred for a role to initiate a narrative for an agenda that's been going on for generations. So, there's only one conclusion you can really come from when you discover how valid that is. That, well, there's maybe that the writer of this plan is probably who they say it is, the leader of the fallen ones, right? They want you to worship the creation, not the creator, right? That's, with all the stories, they all similarities between all these different stories and archetype gods. It's check it out. Check out that book by David McGowan. It's amazing because there's a thing called the Wrecking Crew. Okay, the Wrecking Crew had Glenn Campbell in it. Glenn Campbell was the guitar player for the Wrecking Crew. The Wrecking Crew was the band that played in the studio for all those records. So all the records in the 60s were pretty much done by the Wrecking Crew. There's the Grateful Dead, they possibly played on some of their albums, but none of these narratives that you hear them talk about really are true. So the Wrecking, because in Laurel Canyon, just Laurel Canyon alone, it's a small area of LA. There was Frank Zappa. Let's see if you can see it here. Frank Zappa was his father worked at a place called Edgewood Arsenal, which is a military base up in Laurel Canyon. There's tunnels and everything all around there. The log cabin that Frank Zappa lived in was probably a mud flood building. Oh yeah, well that's, dude, what with the rapping thing, have you heard about that the secret meeting, Shadow? Who's the guy? Busy Bones, or one of those guys, Lazy Bones, or anyways, the meeting was in these record executives all met at this place, And this is back in the 90s, right before the gangster rap came in. See, because there was a conscious kind of rap where it was empowering the black people and just stuff like that. And then it all went into this gangster rap, guns, bitches, and hoes, right? They're all actors. That's why, CB4, these guys are all actors. Like Tupac was an actor. He was a fucking actor. Like he spent time in the Hamptons with this white guy, and the way, I think they did a little bit of a experimentation, you know what I mean? And then he was, he had to play his role. And I mean, Tupac is the archetype of every fucking gangster rapper, every real nigger is fucking Tupac. You know what I mean? Every fucking real one, it's Tupac. That's the character, right? Like, you're gonna get people, oh no, man, no. He was saying all this, no, fuck that shit, man. Look, he's lying in a bathtub full of gold naked. The symbolism right there should tell you enough. You can see me. Oh, you just ordered the book. Cool. Good. Yeah, it's a great book. Great book. I've read it. You don't have to order it. You can get it online on archive.com. David has passed away. So that's why I do, encourage that, because, us artists should be paid, I think. At first I was kind of, like, no, I just didn't feel comfortable about monetizing or anything. And I'm not going to monetize this channel. I just, but I would, and you might see me in a wig or in a mustache, pretending to be some kind of liberal, Biden supporter or something, selling rainbow mugs or something like this. I'll take their money. I don't give a fuck now. Like I said, I had this kind of a come to Jesus moment, in a sense, where not everyone's going to be saved, and you can't save everyone. And we're the crazy people. So, and also in this truth movement, there's more fucking weirdos and fake fucking gurus and energy chakra fucking this, there's a whole shitload of these fucktards in there. Oh, fucking, and the thing about this truth kind of shit is, hey baby, the thing about this truth kind of shit is there's people, they want to know the truth. They want to get this, they want to believe. So when some guy is talking to them about the ascension of the alien fucking what is it, the directory that will be coming soon, some of these people believe this shit, so, and that's what really, like, the Chris Sky, I thought this guy in the beginning, I was like, yeah, right on, he's, because he was talking some real shit, about, but he was in a police car, and he's like, if that was me, they would have smashed the fucking car window, fucking put a gun up to, or beat the fuck out of, here you go, baby, they would have, done some real fucking damage, right? dragged me out of the fucking, you know, but he gets out the next day, and he's been, you know, this guy is fucking, and and he was like the Canadian truth fucking guy, you know. It's and the trucker thing was that got a little more. It inspired a lot of people. It did a little more than what, but it was completely controlled. I mean, these guys had fucking parking infractions and they had their bank accounts frozen. Yeah, yeah. And to me, that is a crime. You know, that's a death penalty crime. It really is, in my opinion. Like, fuck you. You fucking cunt. Okay, if you're a fucking liberal type of guy, and you really believe in fucking you know, whatever it is, fine. But when you're really, so that's where I think is we've got to slick it up, and we've we have to start with the propaganda and some of the tricks, you know. Because I know how we could stop this, you know, but I can't say it. I just can't. But, you know, think about who's culpable, and, you know, if everyone took the law into their own hands, you know, that's all I gotta say. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? But yeah, so. Yeah, weird scenes inside the. You can get it on the archives on archive.com. Anyways, okay, guys, I'm gonna get going. I'll talk to you later. You okay, baby?